Welcome to another video tutorial on how to use Belina Payroll HR. Today I'm going to show you how to set up the school fees benefit transaction code. Firstly, go to Edit, then Transaction Codes. The window displaying on your screen shows a list of transaction codes. When you create a new payroll, a number of transaction codes are created for you. You can add, change, or delete these codes in order to produce a transaction code listing that suits your organization. To quickly find the transaction code that you want to use, select Code, Description, or Category on the sorter to define your search criteria before typing in the search field. Before you decide to create a new transaction code, please check through the list to see if there is no similar transaction code that was created before that you could use. Having gone through the list, let's now click Insert to create the new transaction code. The window now showing on the screen shows the list of transaction code categories. Go through the list to find the category suitable for the type of transaction you would like to process. Care should be taken to ensure that you select the correct category, since your choice will have a tax implication. Once you have found it, click on it. We have selected the category Benefit Other Irregular because the school fees benefit transaction code will not come through regularly on employee payslips and therefore should not form part of the projection of income for the FDS calculation of PAYE. And another thing to take note of, the values of irregular transaction codes are simply added to the total income for the year and not projected. Now let's click Select. Belina Payroll HR automatically inserts a suggested code reference number to use. The suggested code is also a unique identifier for that particular transaction. You can choose whether to accept it or change it. Each transaction code is also a unique descriptive name which helps you to quickly identify it among other transactions. You can choose to accept the default description, or you can change it and put what works best for you. The value of the benefit can be set to a predetermined amount if the amount to be paid is the same for every employee. The entered amount will then come through automatically to all those employees who have the transaction code on their payslip input. If the amount being processed is not static, then we select Manual Edit. This will then make it possible to manually edit or change the value of the transaction, if necessary, whilst processing. For now, we are going to skip the general ledger account and the control account fields because we will talk about them in the accounting package exposed tutorials. Use the drop-down menu to set the length of time that the transaction will come through automatically on an employee's payslip. If you select Single, the transaction will only come through in the period in which it is processed. With the Multiple option, the transaction comes through for the period specified when being processed. If you select Indefinite, the transaction will come through continuously until the user deletes the transaction code from the employee's payslip. When setting up a transaction code, the system allocates a default P6 field. It may be necessary to change if the allocation is not appropriate. P6 fields are used to classify transaction codes for ZIMRA tax audit purposes. Belina Payroll HR is a fully multi-currency payroll. Any transaction code may be set up in a different currency, thereby allowing any number of currencies to be paid to an employee. For this transaction, we are going to maintain the Zimbabwe dollar that we set as the base currency when we created the payroll. When you are done changing the settings, please click OK to save. Now let's search for the new transaction code. As you can see on the screen, the school fees benefit transaction code has been created. Now let's click Close. Now this brings us to the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching.